My name is Sheetal Dube and my company is called AudioName. And what AudioName is really about is it's helping people pronounce their name. So like I can record my name and attach it to my social profile so that when people hear my name, they know how to pronounce it, and when they meet me, they're not so awkward about introducing themselves or having a conversation with me. So AudioName is all about creating an audio avatar and attaching it to your social profiles, so that you can have smoother and more efficient conversations with people. In terms of taking the idea forward, when I first pitched at Startup Weekend, this was way back in early April, that when I pitched the idea of how my name is unfamiliar in a setting like America. Like in India, it's a very common name. Sheetal is a very common name, but when I pitched this idea during Startup Weekend, I realized that it's not only me who's Indian and who's working in America has this problem, but there were many people within Startup Weekend who kind of came ahead and said, we have the same problem. So the idea kind of clicked even then to a lot of people, which kind of gave me a confidence that there is something. So it was kind of a validating thing when even I was pitching my idea during Startup Weekend, of people coming up and saying, really I get it, and you should go ahead and build this product. And then Startup Weekend was like this 52-hour marathon where we're trying to really build our idea. And it's not like a demo day, but when all the teams come together and pitch their idea and how they fleshed it out, again all the judges really got it, and they were like, we're going to pitch in a little money and for you to be motivated and leave your job and take it forward. And it took me about a week for that to sink in, and after a week I realized that if I have to do a startup, this is everything. The people are validating what the problem is, and now it's a matter of finding the right solution. So I quit my job and I just went head on. I said, if I have to do it, I really have to go in 100% into the whole thing. And after that, I think there have been a series of incidents that have just helped keep the momentum, and maintaining that momentum has really helped me get more confident about the whole thing. So Startup Weekend happened, and after that there was a Starbucks event. I went there, met 30 other entrepreneurs from Portland who were coming up with ideas. So again, it gave me a feeling like I'm part of a whole community where people are trying to solve different types of problems. That was great. Then I got introduced to TIE. TIE is another great organization which has awesome mentors who really come out and really listen to you, listen to your ideas, and try to connect you to people who can really help you further. So Starbucks, TIE, and then I heard of Portland Seed Fund, which was again another way for me to think, oh wow, so now I have an idea, I have some validation, and now I can also get some funding to really take this forward and get the development done. So I applied at Portland Seed Fund. At that point of time, I didn't even know whether I'll get through, because there were so many other companies applying, and there was such a big buzz in Portland. So I got through that. So all through, I think I've had such great mentors who really helped me believe in myself and kept telling me to keep going and not get dazzled by small things that might trip me up on a day-to-day basis. So looking back, I feel I've just in some ways been fortunate, because when I look at the events that have happened, they kind of just fit so well together that I could not have planned it any other way. So I think in some ways it's incredible how my whole journey has come about, and I'm probably at a point where I've started meeting more entrepreneurs and started seeing how I can help them try and do something similar, and just help them be confident of just sticking it out and just believing in themselves and waiting for their ideas to really take shape. So I feel incredibly fortunate for the journey I've undertaken so far. To solve the problem of other people hearing my name before they meet me. So the idea of putting audio names in email signatures or attaching it to your social profiles is really the starting point. But what I really hope that will happen is like people find their own they might be having their own ways of communicating within their community. So like they could be traders in Middle East who are working with people all over Asia, so they might have their own network. So what I'm hoping is that they can really play around with this audio avatar or a widget and really place it within the networks that they use to communicate with other people. So whether there are sales tools that they use, that it becomes part of those sales tools, it becomes part of calendars or any applications which people use for business collaboration. So I'm hoping like this, they can actually kind of use this AudioName to give life to any other social online profile that they may have. So currently if you look at our online profiles, they're pretty static, like they just have like text and they really don't let you learn more or something more deeper about another person. So in fact when I actually take feedback from people, one of the things that has come up is like they really like listening to someone's name or a little profile about themselves because they get a deeper understanding of that person. So what I'm also seeing is like it probably has scope even beyond the name. It's like it's probably a little bigger than that. It's like when people have a chance to tell something about themselves, like 60 seconds pitch about themselves, so that other people get to know them better, and we are able to add some voice in our online social presence. And one of the things that, when I talk to people, so I've got about 150 people who have actually gone ahead and recorded their name and added it to their email signatures, and I constantly try and go back and see, what's the feedback and, how are they using it and how can I improve it. And one of the feedbacks is like people really like the simplicity of the solution. So they like the fact that you can add it to your signature. It has a little icon which has a little text explanation of, listen to my name. And when you click on it, you can hear the pronunciation of their name or a little profile that they may have recorded. So something that is really coming out is like the simplicity of it, and I'm really hoping like as the solution, as I look at the application and other scenarios, I can hopefully maintain that ease of use, as they may say, like it's easy to record and it's easy to attach it to email signatures or social profiles. So and that I think that's probably a very critical element for the product to be successful. It's just making sure that it's easy to use for just about anybody who's communicating with other people. I think the biggest hurdle I've overcome is trying to tell myself that I can do a startup. I think that was my biggest hurdle. I've been a user experience consultant for more than 14 years, but just knowing that I have an idea and I want to take it to market and I can do it, I think was the biggest hurdle. So, and I've gone like a step by step about it. I used to follow people who did it, and I attended seminars. I did an incubator program in San Francisco called Women 2.0. So I think it's been a very step-by-step process where I've gradually become more confident that I can do it. But yeah, just knowing that I can do it, I think was the biggest hurdle for me. I think what has tripped me up is I knew like for a startup to get started there will be hurdles. I mean, you hear of so many situations or so many projects where the failure rate is high, especially for like there's a lot of data to suggest that first time startups go through a lot of problems and very few really succeed. So in a way I've known that, but what has tripped me up is really trying to deal with the smaller things day to day. Like you think you have a development team and suddenly you realize you don't. Something like that is like you don't expect it to happen, but really the scenario in a startup is so loosey-goosey. It's not you have requirements today and those requirements change because you've got some new information. So things are changing so quickly that it's still a lot of areas are gray, so it's difficult to predict how things are going to take shape, and maybe that is tripping me up a little bit, but in a way mentally it's going to happen, so dealing with it. When I came back from San Francisco, I was looking at startup opportunities in Portland, and I went to Startup Nights. It's a meetup, and there I met Tubiton, who told me about Startup Weekend, which was coming up. So, just getting introduced to the startup circle itself happened because someone introduced me to it. And then even after I did Startup Weekend, like the judges were like super helpful, and they came out and they said we'll help you, and they followed through. I had coffee meetings with them, and they really helped me think through what I wanted to do. And I remember another situation where it was soon after Startup Weekend where I decided, oh, I've quit my job and now what to do. And Michael Coates called me and said, don't panic, and I'll help you out, and laid out a whole plan in terms of step by step how I should go about it. So since then and now, I think I've spoken to so many people who helped me for different reasons, for like how to handle the technology, how to think of a business plan, if it's okay not to think of a business plan, even open seed fund coming up. That is like really huge in terms of just giving me the confidence that there is someone out there who is ready to bet on my idea and me as a person and really help me build a startup. So really the people and the resources available in Portland have been like really useful. Just knowing, so I have an idea which a lot of people have validated that the problem exists, but now finding that right solution and trying to make sure people really find it valuable, really seeing where that fits and how that solution really fits in people's daily life. I think tracking that is the biggest challenge I see ahead of me. It's so the problem is there, but really what format of that solution is going to really help solve that problem. So really figuring that piece out seems like the biggest challenge that I need to overcome, because once that happens, once you have a product that's valuable, then I think the acceptance is there, things will just work around it, but I really have to find out how this really fits in people's daily life. Like I said, I wanted to do startups. I enjoy building products, and I see this almost like my first product, and I really want to go out and build more products. So I think what inspires me is to figure it out, just find out how to take an idea to market, because I think if I can figure that out once, I can then replicate it and also help others do that. So just the whole thing of trying to figure it out, how these pieces will come together, I think that is something that really keeps me going. Again, I think it's people who inspire me. When I read about success stories around me of how people had an idea and how that idea really came to market, or really how mobile has impacted, say, Africa, and how the AIDS problem, people have been able to solve that because or bring more awareness from technology perspective. So really when I hear of these stories, how technology is impacting people, what people are doing, and how just common everyday people are taking products to market and helping other people live a better life, I think that is something that really inspires me. All those stories inspire me.